All right, people, we're back. Got a little addition to the bike, and I figured we'll let you guys know what's going on, and better yet, just give you some information, which I felt was somewhat a surprise to me. Here we go. Recently, I just purchased the Galfer brake rotor for the back, and I purchased it thinking I'll probably do something just to update the bike, not necessarily just to go along with the performance of the bike, just something that looks a little different. I see all these performance bikes, and I was like, you know what, let me see how that works off. No, I don't have a performance bike, but I just, just adding something different to the same bike, so that's what I got. And we'll see if these go pretty well, then we'll probably get the front. But at the same time, those Galfer brakes, they're a little hefty, so it's gonna take me a little while to get to the front, especially since people aren't subscribing. But anyways, we're moving along, and we're gonna go down the line, and I'm gonna give you guys a brief interpretation of each one of them, and we'll go from there. Lastly, I had the DNA wheels, the rotors for it as well. And if you watched a couple videos ago, you seen I put the DNA spokes on there, and it came with these, not necessarily came with, but I ordered these spokes or rotors to go with them with that spoke effect in it. And they were pretty cool, got a lot of compliments and everything. So I figure I'll go with the Galfers and put it on the back, because as of lately I've been having a lot of squeaking, and I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced the squeaking as well too. I think that's common with the Harley, and it just goes to show that it's consistent with a lot of people's bike, not necessarily mine. But that is the DNA spoke rotor, and that's what I put on them. All of these are 11.8, so just make sure when you decide to order something for your bike, you get what the specifications are for your bike. In the middle here is what the bike came with. Those are the rotors that the bike came with. And I have no problem with any of them. It's just that just going with something that gives me a different look, and I'm hoping a different feel. So in the middle we have the old one. To the left of it we have the DNA, and over here to the right we have the Galfer, which I'm only going to put on the rear. These are a floating wheel, which is very similar to the original, but at the same time that original is not necessarily floating. It only has one portion in here with the floating. So to me, that's a solid with a partial float. I don't know what they call that, maybe semi-floating, but we went from the semi-float to the solid rotor to the actual one that is floating. We have the original rotor, which served this purpose. Only reason why I changed it out was to go with the DNA. Maybe get something that was a little shiny or something that was a little up to date with the bike, to give it that own customization. So it is what it is. I don't have anything much to say about this one. When I think I put these, this was the life of the bike up until about 50,000 miles. And on the side here, you barely can tell. There's a slight indication that it's worn, and that's about it. It did fairly well. I have no complaints. Like I said, it squeaked just like all the rest of them. I'm pretty sure the new Galfer one probably squeaked down the line as well too. But something that I'll show you guys. Let me pull this ad in, and you guys can see how just about this one weighed 4 pounds, and we'll see what the DNA wheel did. And like I said, when you pick this one up, it isn't necessarily heavy. It's comparably definitely lighter than the DNA one. So I have no complaints out of this one. Just progressively getting better and better. Here we have the Galfer rotor, which is I know I see a lot of people putting this rotor style on their bike, and I figure, hey, I'll run after it and see how it performs, what it does differently from the other ones, maybe cut back on some of the squealing. But I know sometimes we get these things from eBay and wherever, some of these other places that we get our stuff from. It's just something to think about when you order from the original manufacturer. You get some of these little goodies, and I just thought it was pretty cool. You got the jet tag, which was in there. You also get some stickers to go around, and see some brochures on about all their little performance and stuff that goes along with it. I'm not going to open it up, because if you want to, you can go order your stuff from them rather than trying to go get a little deal from eBay. They send a little thank you card over here, like it's a little personal touch. And then they sent this beanie too, and it's double-sided, or better yet, you can roll it up and get an idea as to what it looks like on the other side. So you got, that's what she said on this side here, and then the Galfer thing emblem goes around the side, and then you also have the Galfer USA as well. Now, I ordered these brakes off of eBay. I don't know why, but it is what it is. They say if you use their brakes, they'll give you a warranty of X amount of months, or maybe even 1 year. Man, I was thinking, at the end of the day, brakes are brakes. If you ask me, I'm not a performance guy. If it stops the bike, it is what it is. But I got them, and based on whether the ones that I currently have on now have been worn down, I probably won't even put these on. If those are good, I'll probably roll with those until I need some new brakes. So until next time, man. But this is a high performance brake. I feel like it's predominantly or mainly for like high performance vehicles, better yet like a crotch rocket, speed bikes, and to that extent. Some things that I watched over watching some of the YouTube videos, that people were saying that how it shakes. Well, of course it's gonna shake because it's a floating rotor. Some people, like when I shake it like this, some people got a shaking experience out of it, which I'm pretty sure is gonna do that because it's floating and it has little spacers in the side here, which are blue. I originally went with the, you got different colors. I don't know what the colors are. You can go back, look at their website and see what the colors are, but I got blue obviously to match my bike. And then since the wheel is in the rear and it always gets dirty, and I don't necessarily clean this area, I just got the black. If it works well, if it does well for me, some people start subscribing instead of just watching the videos, then we'll go ahead and purchase the front two. I think they were like, this one's like $370 something, and each brake is $370 something. They don't come in pairs, so it is what it is. But I just feel I'll work this out, see how this works. With it being in the back, I'm pretty sure it's going to get a lot of dust, and hopefully that'll give me an indication as to whether it's going to perform well, or if I'm going to like it, or anything to that, you know, anything to that of being. So with this, I measure each one of them. Right now I pull in the screen where I measured this one, and it came in at 3 pounds roughly, and which is pretty good in comparison to some of the others. So when I get a chance to put those others on there and I put each one on here individually, then you'll be able to see what it is that I'm talking about. But as far as just sitting here looking at it, I like the way it looks. I like the pins. It looks to be quality made. But like I say, everything is. Everybody has their own specifications of what is quality. And I'm pretty sure that DNA and Harley thought they were giving you quality stuff as well. So at the end of the day, it's your preference, what you want to put on your bike. And this is what I'm aiming for next. So hopefully this Galfer rotor goes well with the bike, helps perform, maybe stop the squeaking, and we'll see what it does. So over time, I give you guys updates, which I always do. And we'll see. And let's go to the next one. We've got this DNA rotor. By far, it is much heavier than those other two. And it's definitely something that you can feel in the difference when you're comparing the two, or better yet, holding them in the hand. This one, like I said, I run the video. And in the video, you can see that this one weighed 5 pounds. It's nice, it looks nice, but at the end of the day, it is definitely heavy, and I'm imagining what that possibly could do to the performance of the wheel. So not necessarily the wheel, but I guess with the distribution of the bike. Going from what originally we had 4 with the original, and we went with this one, which is 5, and then now we're going to drastically go down 2 pounds on each of those wheels. So just something to think about, man, when you're thinking about buying some of these things, depending on what it is that you want. It is what it is. This one, I had this on here roughly from 50 to 80, 84, let's say. And that's because the reason why I have it off today is because I'm changing out the tires, which there's going to be a video about that as well too. So just make sure you look out for that Shinko video and give you a brief description as to how many miles they go. And a lot of people want to know about Shinko wheels because they're cheap, but at the same time they wear really fast. So if you're one of those people who like to go on long trips, I don't necessarily suggest a Shinko, but if you're going on, long trips, staying around in town, doing what you got to do, and you want something that's inexpensive, go for that Shinko. But if you want something that'll go for a long time, that Dunlap, and you travel, yeah, you'll probably get, I imagine, I don't necessarily know, but you'll get more than 10 out of those Dunlaps and those Michelin. So do what you got to do. Going back to this rotor, obviously on the side over here, we've only had it on there for roughly 30,000 miles. You can't tell, barely can tell on this one. However, on the original one, when I did that same rub to see the difference in it, you can definitely tell that the original was on there a little longer. But other than that, man, this one squeaked to me much more than the original. Not that I can really remember the original, but this one squeaked a lot much more. I've seen myself from time to time, what I would do if I know I'm like at a rally or something, I would squeeze the brake really hard to get the pad hot, and then apply the brake after that, and it seemed to not squeal in that. But I don't want to have to go through that process, and I'm looking for something that I can just just use and it won't squeak. But like I say, that is really embarrassing when you pull up and people looking at you squeaking, even though they know that it's somewhat normal. It's just, I don't know, it just feels uncomfortable when you're trying to come in and try to look cool. But those are the 3 brakes, man, like I said. And if you're looking for something, just know, if you get the DNA like this one, you can tell it is very heavy. This is 5 pounds. The original was 4, and the Galfer was 3. So if you're out there looking for something, you could take this with a grain of salt and maybe go in the direction that I'm going, or better yet, just get what you want. It's your bike, you do what you want to do. So with that said, man, I'm gonna sign off on this one. Maybe one day you'll see that your brakes aren't working properly, and one day you'll see, tried to tell you that you might need some new rotors. Until next time.